So hello all. So today we have with us AIR 41 Shubham, and he has cleared this exam in his very first attempt with geography as his optional and has scored a very good marks in geography, that is 298. So we welcome Shubham on this podcast, and I would like Himanshu sir to introduce him further, and we will start with the basics first.
So first of all, congratulations, Shubham, on your
Thank you, sir.
and really it is like there is a kind of rumor mill in UPSC that it is very difficult to crack the exam in your first attempt from geography optional, and you have done it in your first attempt with so much good marks. So again, congratulations for that, for busting this kind of myth. So tell
Thank you.
me something about your journey of preparation, Shubham.
Sir, in the college itself, I decided that geography would be my optional because
So
I had
just I'm
interest in
interrupting you. Did you have background in geography?
No, sir. I studied geography only till class 10 that everyone studies.
Mhm.
But I had interest in geography, and when I decided that I want to pursue CSE, I went through all the optional and analyzed quite a few of them that which would be beneficial for me. So I chose geography because it was like science without maths. I did not like maths, but since it has a lot of theories, I decided to pursue geography. So when I graduated in 2021, before that also I completed all the basic readings such as NCRT or some reference books such as Savinder, but I was finding it difficult to get a hold of some concepts. So I decided to have a coaching since I have no background. So after that, I did a coaching, and my syllabus was almost complete till December 2021. And after that, I did a lot more enrichment on my content. I had my notes consolidated. I just had 3 notebooks with me, which I could complete in one day. So if I had to give a test of geography, I could revise all the geography syllabus in one day with my consolidated notes. Before prelims itself, I gave a lot of tests for the geography option so that I could gauge my preparation at what level I stood. After prelims, I was sure that I would qualify. So then only I joined a lot of tests, including guidance IS test series, in which I gave a lot of tests. Since my syllabus was already completed, I did not have to do much. I just revised, gave tests, did value addition, and made a separate notebooks uh, for differentiating my answers. For example, I made a separate sheets for case studies, both global and Indian case studies, Indian maps, examples, data, which I think helped differentiate my answers.
Hmm.
That is
So
very good. Matlab, people actually uh, consolidate their notes in 4 to 5 years, and you have done it in a very short span of time, and that is very incredible. And it is also said that you have to use this analogy of KISS, that is, keep it simple and stupid. Okay?
Yeah.
To also ace this exam, so you have keep all those things very simplistically, and you have consolidated your notes, which you can easily recall in the main exam hall. So that is very good, actually.
so
Yes, sir.
this is was I my question was also you told us that you had made 3 copies of geography, which you could revise in a very short span of time. So basically, what was the process of your notes making?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
So when I was doing foundational coaching, I started making my notes from them only. So
Hmm.
I made notes a particular day each topic was taught. I made a note, and in the evening I used to open the reference notebook such as Savinder Singh or D.R. Kuller according to the topics being taught. So I studied those topics from the book, added extra things from the book to my notes which were not taught in the classroom coaching, because most classroom coaching don't teach all the stuff, all micro topics or
Hmm.
extra things. For example, speleothems,
Hmm.
which came in the first question, these are not taught by the coaching. So
Yeah.
but I studied the reference book, it was in my notes, so it helped me a lot.
Hmm.
Even in the paper 1 or other paper 2, small questions that people don't study, these were actually in my notes, which helped So these notes were consolidated before parents itself based on my classroom coaching as well as what I read from reference book, both Savinder Singh as well as Made Simple series. So each day I used to compile my notes for the topic being taught from the classroom coaching as well as reference books. Also, I took the help of internet for small topics or something that I did not understood or something whose diagram was not in the book. For example, Penk model, the diagram of Penk model is not good in the coaching, in the notes or as well as in the book. So I took the help of internet, got good diagrams from foreign authors, which I use in my exam.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, what is now your opinion, Shubham, about geography optional? Because definitely there are lots of myths circulating around in the market about geography being very tough and very lengthy and everything. In fact, one of the myths is that if you prepare from geography optional, it will take at least 3 years for you to ultimately get
Hmm.
through.
Sir, I think it's not difficult, but it's also not easy as well others optional relative to other optionals. So I would say that it requires time. It will take you around 6 to 8 months to complete the syllabus, and
Mm,
another 1 and 2 months to get hold on all the concepts as well as do enrichment on them.
mm,
So but I have also seen a lot of my friends who study geography also get good marks. If we analyze today, this year's optional geography optional, I saw a lot of those who got selected score more than 280.
mm,
Yes.
Lot of people were in 290. So
yes.
there are chances of getting good marks in geography if you prepare well, give a lot of tests, get hold of a concept, because right now we are seeing that a lot of conceptual questions are being asked, especially in paper one. So
Mm.
if we want to have good conceptual clarity to get good marks in geography.
और शुभम, हाउ ज्योग्राफी हेल्प्ड यू इन अदर जीएस सब्जेक्ट्स? कैसा ज्योग्राफी ने हेल्प किया अदर सब्जेक्ट्स के अंदर? मुझे लगता है कि जो भी जीएस के अंदर जिसकी स्कोरिंग अच्छी होती है जीएस के मार्क्स के अंदर, उसका कहीं ना कहीं ज्योग्राफी का बैकग्राउंड होता है, ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल बहुत अच्छा हेल्प करता है उसको.
Yeah, geography as an optional did help me in paper one. I did not study anything related to geography for paper one. It also helped me with environment in GS3 as well as in essay, because that forest
हम्म.
wala essay, although I did not write, but I thought over that and all the
हम्म.
points were coming from my optional. So it did
हम्म.
help with all my parts GS. Even in GS4, I gave examples from all the case study that I had prepared for my
हम्म.
optional. So it also helped in GS4.
और जीएस 3 के अंदर इकोनॉमी के अंदर एग्रीकल्चर वाला जो पोर्शन है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वाला जो
Yeah,
पोर्शन है, डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट वाला जो पोर्शन है, इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी वाला जो पोर्शन है, उसमें मैप मेकिंग, बॉर्डर
yeah.
डिस्प्यूट्स और इन सब में भी बहुत ज्योग्राफी का रेलेवेंस रहता
Yes, definitely. My like agriculture wale mein, I made all the maps of India. Even in
है.
GS1, GS3, my all the in GS3 I got 100, which is like quite a good mark. So
यस
I
यस
made a
यस.
lot of India maps in agriculture as well as economic questions. So I think that helped. Since I had a practice, I could make India world map in few seconds. So that helped a lot.
ट्रू.
So, Shubham, tell me more about how you basically struck a balance between the preparation of the optional and the GS.
So, sir, I had a fixed schedule about when I will study GS and when I will study optional. So, when I was in the preparatory phase, around 2 hours used to be the coaching class that I had to like from 12 to 2. And in the evening by 6 to 8, I had a 2 hour window for consolidating my notes, reading the reference books, and revising the stuff. So,
Hmm.
I had 4 hours for geography optional and rest of the things for GS and other stuff. So you used to balance. It took a lot of time. It took around January 2022 to get all my GS and geography optional syllabus to be completed. But I completed before. I had confidence before prelims that I had completed my syllabus well.
This is a very important thing which you are telling, Shubham, because what happens, we find that students, majority of the students, what they are doing, they are attending the classes, they are going home, and then they indulge themselves in reading many other things. There is lots of information noise when it comes to UPSC preparation. So they are indulging in preparation of those other things. And because of that, they are not revising the class material and consolidating the class material. And what happens by the end of the classes, they are nowhere. So
Yes,
this is something which you have very properly told us. I also tell them that at least what you are doing in a day, suppose you are giving 2 hours to reading of something, at least 1.5 hours should be given to the revision of that within 24 hours. And this is
yes, sir.
something which all the students have to do, then only they stand a chance. So,
Yes, sir.
Shubham,
शुभम
hmm,
तो
yes,
शुभम आई वाज आस्किंग कि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स जिनको ये स्ट्रेटेजी बताई जाती है कि यू हैव टू ड्रॉ मैप्स, केस स्टडी लिखनी है, अच्छे डायग्राम्स बनाने हैं ज्योग्राफी के अंदर और एग्जाम्पल्स देने हैं, डेटा भी देना है पेपर 2 के क्वेश्चंस के अंदर, इतना सब कुछ बताते हैं तो उनका मेन कंसर्न ये रहता है कि सर 3 आवर्स में एग्जाम में पॉसिबल है या नहीं इतने मैप्स बनाना। इनफैक्ट कुछ जो टॉपर्स हैं जैसे प्रीवियस ईयर टॉपर्स जो हैं गाइडेंस के लाइक गौरव गुंजन एंड अदर पीपल, they used to make political maps in paper 2, ठीक है, फॉर शोइंग मोर स्पेशल एस्पेक्ट्स। तो इन सब चीजों को आपने कैसे मैनेज किया और आपके लिए इसकी स्ट्रेटेजी क्या थी?
Yes, for maps and data, I had a very separate sheets, a very 2-3 page sheets for each topic. So for climatology, I had a separate 3-4 page sheets of map that I could draw in a particular question. So I had map of tropical diagram or fronts, and same was for geomorphology or oceanography, as well as biogeography or soil profiles with different soil. So I had maps ready in a different sheet that I could revise so that it is in my mind. If I go to a particular topic, these 3 sheets will come to my help. So I had very consolidated thing about these diagrams as well as these facts and examples. But what I did more was implement these in the test. So a lot of people do, prepare these sheets and they just go to exam and try to implement in the main exam. But since I was
Yes.
part of lot of test series after prelims in the guidance as well as other test series, I did implement all these things, something which I was not getting in the test series. I used to go home and revise further or consolidate further or add something extra from the internet. And then again in the next sets, I used to implement the same. So I think in the main exam, it became very easy for me to recall the stuff, recall the diagrams that I have to draw, as well as the speed increased because you have to draw exact diagram and in the very few seconds that we get also add what kind of data is being added in which question. So having practice of these things help in the main exam.
एंड ये भी देखा जा रहा है, मैं भी आई वाज जस्ट सीइंग योर मार्कशीट, और मार्कशीट में जो आपका स्कोर है सारे ही पेपर्स में इवनली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड है, पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट में भी अच्छा स्कोर है, एंड दैट इज वन ऑफ द रीजन कि अंडर 50 रैंक आया है। yesterday we shared a marksheet of a student जिसने ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल में इस साल 300 मार्क्स स्कोर किए एंड स्टिल नॉट रिकमेंडेड इन द फाइनल लिस्ट, ठीक है, 300 मार्क्स हैं। उसके बाद 298 टू स्टूडेंट्स के हैं, फिर 297 हैं, फिर 292 हैं, फिर 291 हैं, 300 पे भी सिलेक्शन नहीं था। और मैंने ये चीज सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट आपकी मार्कशीट में देखी कि पेपर 3 के अंदर यू हैव स्कोर्ड 100 मार्क्स, और जो एवरेज स्कोरिंग हुई है दैट इज 85 मार्क्स के अराउंड हुई है पेपर 3 के अंदर। तो पेपर 3 के अंदर आपको हाइंडसाइड में देखते हुए ऐसा क्या लग रहा है कि क्या आपने यूनिक किया था, बिकॉज बहुत ही एक्सेप्शनल केसेस हैं पेपर 3 के अंदर जिन्होंने 100 का स्कोर टच किया?
So I can't be 100% sure of what
यस
actually
यस
worked. No one can be sure of.
यस
But in
यस
hindsight, one thing that I did was to the point answers, because in GS3 the questions are very to the point, why, how, or so what. So I
यस
made a lot of effort to stick to the points, and I also beforehand I prepared a lot of probable topics that might be asked in the GS3, because GS3 paper is very current affairs based, especially in environment or internal security or even economy. So I made a lot of preparation beforehand. If I give an example, I made a list of topics for science and technology because all the questions come from generally current affairs. So I made a list of James Webb Telescope, and it actually came in exam.
यस
I think a lot of people actually did not know much about James Webb Telescope, but I knew a lot of things, lot of factual things, lot of conceptual things, even diagram of L1 position or L2 position. So I drew the diagram. I gave very conceptual, very to the point answers to the questions asked, as well as I use a lot of data in the introduction, because I already told that I prepared a separate sheet for GS 1, 2, 3, 4, the data that I could use in all these papers, the examples that I could use in all these papers. So these really help, as well as completing the paper and answering to the point. These I think can think in the hindsight actually that work.
और पूरे ही चारों ही पेपर्स में हाउ मेनी मार्क्स यू हैव लेफ्ट, कितने क्वेश्चंस आपने अनअटेम्प्ट किए थे?
I completed all the paper even beforehand.
Yes.
In all the four option, all the four GS as well as optional, I completed my papers beforehand.
You have also completed all the ethical case studies पेपर 4 के अंदर सब कुछ?
Yeah, I completed GS paper for 5 minutes prior to the 3 hour mark.
Many less students can see that thing, so that is very great. Sir, आप
I
पूछिए
think
और कुछ?
practice helped. I gave a lot of tests,
Yes.
so I had
Yes.
my writing speed very quick, the thinking speed very quick. So I think that helped a lot.
So Shubham, ये बताओ कि during the preparation, what were the difficulties that you faced? क्या difficulties? Because you can understand कि difficulties तो होती हैं सभी को.
Yes, sir, there were some minor difficulties because I had a lot of support from my parents, both financially, emotionally. So I did not feel major difficulties in terms of financial or something other, but minor difficulties in terms of uh, having motivation when scores you don't get good scores in the test, or your syllabus is not completed, or you feel like don't studying. These are small things, but I stuck to the my core strategy that I made prior to the exam, as well as this motivation of fear that I don't want to repeat the same thing next year. I
It is
want to
very
complete in
important.
the first year. This fear of stagnating or repeating the same thing propelled me to push myself harder. So I think this fear factor definitely helped me.
एंड जैसे शुभम, आपने अभी प्रीलिम्स का जो पेपर हुआ है 28 को, उसको देखा होगा या
Yes,
उसके बारे में जो रूमर्स आ रही हैं उसको सुना होगा. तो
yes, sir.
अब जो पैटर्न चेंज किया है यूपीएससी ने, जिसमें उसने 47 क्वेश्चंस ओनली 1, ओनली 2, ओनली 3 या ऑल 4 या नन पेयर्स के बनाए हैं, और जो 18 क्वेश्चंस के अराउंड असर्शन एंड रीजनिंग वाले जो स्टेटमेंट्स वाले बेस्ड क्वेश्चन बनाए हैं, और जो उसमें थोड़ा सा फैक्चुअल नेचर क्या है कि इंक्रीज किया है, तो इसको देखते हुए व्हाट इज योर एडवाइस टू द फ्यूचर एस्पिरेंट्स कि क्या उनको आगे करके जाना चाहिए? और हैड बीन यू गिविंग दिस अटेम्प्ट, आपका कैसा परफॉर्मेंस रहता अगर आप प्रीलिम्स 2023 देते तो?
I did attempt the paper since I was like I had time, so I attempted the paper.
Okay,
I got more than 100 in GS. So
that is great.
what I found was they are asking for good conceptual as well as factual knowledge now. So I
Yes.
think you have to be very all-rounder in that. You can't stick to the prescribed books that we read, reference books that we read, like Lakshmikant or Spectrum. You have to go beyond that in terms of current affairs. Just reading newspaper won't help. You have to, at the end of the day, you have to do a daily news analysis, various websites that we have. You have to study the various news analysis, so you get the background of the current events that are happening, or the whatever is in the news. So I think that helps in getting conceptual as well as factual knowledge. Also, there is an element of luck in this factor because you can't know everything. So also at the end of the day, you have to see that these are relative. In GS1, if it is difficult, it is difficult for everyone. You have to you have to get around 40-50 questions correct, and after that there is an element of luck that everyone gets, you will also get. Also, practice will definitely help because these questions, this conceptual clarity or the factual clarity, you will get after you practice. So for my prelims, I gave more than 100 tests. There are a lot of tests that I did, which actually helped get me 118 marks in my prelims. So have practice, have good conceptual clarity, revise all the stuff. You can't leave ancient history or medieval
Yes.
history. That I think there is no cost benefit is less, but we can't leave those. Since we have a lot of time, 1 year for the next year aspirant, to do all these things, don't leave a single micro topic.
सर आप बताइए.
आई थिंक कि शुभम, एक चीज और मुझे ये बताओ कि अभी जैसे इस बार का जो 2023 का मेंस है, तो अब जो है देयर आर अराउंड 3 months लेफ्ट. So what should the students be doing जो जिनको लगता है who have given the prelims and suppose some of them are on the border case line है या some of them feel like they'll be clearing. So what should be the strategy? अभी ये 3 months की strategy क्या होनी चाहिए?
So the strategy will depend on two things: whether the syllabus of optional and GS are completed or not, or second, how is the confidence level. So for students who have not completed their syllabus, who don't have consolidated notes, I would request them to take 1 month, whole June, to complete their syllabus, get their notes consolidated, and revise all the stuff. And for those who have already done all these things, they can just revise and start giving tests, and after test start value addition through newspapers or internet or even the answers of the test that you are giving. So as I told, you will depend on how well prepared you are. So analyze your preparation and then make the strategy further.
Because the thing is कि this is a kind of complaint always from geography optional students कि when they start during this period, majority of their time goes in preparation of geography optional. So they are unable to give the adequate amount of time to GS. So I also believe कि this period, what you have to do, the month of June should be the period when the things which you are not confident on, you should prepare them. And ultimately, as you move forward, majority of your time should go on the revision, consolidation, and answer writing and all those kind of stuff. And in fact, the balance has to be maintained. For example, most of the students will be lost in the study of the things, and they'll not pay adequate attention to the practice of essays, for example.
Yeah.
So again, that is something which has to be done. You have to practice your essays, and then only, because see what happens, we invest so much time in the optionals and we get a edge of suppose 30-40 marks, but with less investment in the essay, with little bit of practice, you can get in that kind of edge of that 30-40 marks. So ROI in preparation of the essay is very good. So that is how all the aspirants who are appearing should be doing. So
Yes, sir. So I think the most beautiful or the ugly part of this exam is that it's very unpredictable.
yes.
If I think that I would get a very good marks in optional, I might not get good marks in optional. For example, I was thinking my GS1 paper went very good, but I got only 96 marks. But I thought my optional paper was very average or just above average, but I got 298. So I think we all have to do hedging, give equal proportion of our efforts and time to all the papers, because we can't, at the end of the day, we can't be sure of the marks that we get.
Yes, balance is the key in the preparation. So Shubham, you have any message for the future aspirants?
I think more than the stuff that we read from the reference book or the standard book, I think we have to now be more a type of all-rounder, know everything that is happening around us. Because if you can't qualify prelims, there is no point of preparing for mains. So in prelims, they are literally asking everything from movies to sports, as well as in the mains. If you are all-rounder, if you are knowing what is happening around you, it helps in differentiating the answers through examples or the facts. So apart from reading your standard books and the reference books, read something else, develop a hobby of reading something else. Like I used to read economist magazines or the foreign affairs, foreign policy magazines, that I think helped a lot in my preparation in the mains as well as interview. So I think develop reading habit beyond standard books, beyond what has been prescribed by the various toppers or by the guide mentors. So develop your own little habit to differentiate from others.
और एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन मैं एक और पूछना चाहूंगा कि व्हाट वाज दैट वन हाईलाइट व्हिच यू कैन रिकॉल कि आपके इंटरव्यू के अंदर जिसने यू हैव गिवन यू अ स्कोर ऑफ 180 मार्क्स व्हिच इज आल्सो वेरी गुड. तो एक ऐसी हाईलाइट जहां आपको लगा हो कि दैट वाज अ टर्निंग मोमेंट इन योर इंटरव्यू.
I think at the end of my interview, one member asked just one question about he read from he just told what people say when asked about why do you want to join civil services. So he himself gave a lot of options like money, power, or prestige, and said to me, "What do you want to add? Do you want to add anything extra to that?" So I told about respect, that the respect my parents and grandparents have back at my home. So I want to earn the same respect, and this job will help me in gaining that respect. So all the members appreciated and told that at least I am honest. I think that helped a lot.
And were you preparing for this year prelims after your interview?
Definitely, I was preparing. I was preparing even 1 hour before the results because we can't be
Oh my God.
sure of exactly the rank
Yes.
we are getting.
Hmm.
Since I had the target of getting under 19, under 90 rank, so I was definitely preparing for the prelims.
That is good.
Okay, Shubham, it was very nice talking to you, and you are a kind of source of motivation for the future aspirants. Definitely, you have proved and you have busted the myth that even in your first attempt, if you have the right strategy, the exam can be cracked. And you are a living example of that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Shubham, good luck for the future. Definitely, you will make us proud even in your services.
Thank you, sir.